Hello, Year 3, it's Mrs. Brooke here. I'm just going to read the next couple of chapters of The Land of Raw. I've caught up on what Mr. Moss wrote to. It's getting a little bit exciting, isn't it? I've asked Buttons to join me today, so keep me company. So if we have a little listen, chapter 16. Off we go, what's going to happen? I gasp, my heart pounding. Prosecco? The mighty stallion stalks towards me, his nostrils like buckets and his muscles are gigantic and rippling. He looks absolutely nothing like the rocking horse in the attic. He stomps around, trampling through the glowing coals of the fire and lowering his head to peer into the cave. He seems to be looking for something. Suddenly he turns and clip-clops his way back to me. Only it's more a clip, clop, clip, and sparks explode where his hooves strike the ground. I might make her some toast, said Wyn, edging away. Wyn, don't go. Prosecco hates me. Not as much as he hates me, he says, and he slips into the cave. Really? I dared to look him in the eye. You hate Wyn more than you hate me? Somehow, by raising his shoulders and narrowing his eyes, Prosecco managed to imply, only just. Then he steps towards me, forcing me backwards until I'm pushed up against the rock face. He lifts up one hoof and presses it to my chest. What's the matter, Prosecco? Are you angry with me? I was never really going to throw you out of the attic window. Or are you annoyed because Rose isn't here? His big head rises and falls. He's nodding. You are? Well, don't blame me. Rose could have come, but she chose to go to Claire's instead. I'm gibbering now, but I can't help it. I get the feeling that if Prosecco wanted, he could push me his hoof straight through me like a skewer in a kebab. He bares his dazzling teeth. What do you want? I cry. He steps back and starts pawing the ground and tossing his mane from side to side. He rears up until he's towering over me, then he crashes back down. His tail whips round and a few strands of hair catch my arm. Pain shoots through me. It's like 1,000 needles jabbing into me or being stung by bees. As I clutch my arm, I realise that Rose made this happen. Prosecco's tail never used to sting, but just by saying some words in the attic yesterday, Rose has changed something in Raw. Wyn edges out of the cave. Arthur, what have you done to him? He's so angry. I've not done anything. He wants Rose. I look into Prosecco's wild eyes. She's not in Raw. She's at home where we come from, and she might be freaking out a bit now, but she's totally safe, trust me. Prosecco thinks for a moment. I know he's thinking, because his glittery eyeballs have become narrow slits. Then he nods, showing he's accepted what I've said. After one last glower, he turns to leave. There he is. He's towering above Arthur. Don't go, I run forward. Our grandad is in Raw, and Croaky's got him at the crow's nest. Can he help us get there? Can he give us a lift or something? Prosecco flashes me a disgusted look, then rears up on his hind legs and leaps into the forest. That horse has got melting into darkness nails his Wyn as Prosecco and his thundering hoofs vanish into the night. Don't worry, mate. Tomorrow, when the scarecrow army are nice and quiet, we'll find your grandad and get him back. We don't need that great big horse to help us. I'm not just worried, I'm scared too. I don't remember feeling like this when we used to play Raw. If we felt fear, it was exciting, fun type, like when you go on a roller coaster or listen to a ghost story. I put my hand to my chest. It aches from where Prosecco pressed his hoof into me, and I can feel my heart throbbing. There is nothing fun about what I'm feeling right now. We can do this, can't we, Wyn? I look at him for reassurance. We can go to the crow's nest, get past Croaky, and save my grandad. I'm expecting Wyn to say, of course we can. But for a moment he just stands there thinking. I wasn't joking when I said Croaky had changed, he said. He was always mean, but now he's vicious, and with his army he's powerful too. It feels like he's everywhere. Wyn's eyes flick to the forest. He used to have a few scarecrows working for him, things that got stuffed and stayed stuffed, a couple of unicorns, a mermaid. But now he's made the army I've always wanted, wondering what he's going to do next. He's taking over Raw. He looks at me and grins. But now you're back, Arthur, and I know you can sort Croaky out, just like you used to. Wyn isn't making me feel any better. In fact, I feel sick with worry. We need Rose. She always comes up with our plan to get Croaky, and she never used to be scared of him, unlike me. Well, Rose isn't here, but we've got you. He pulls my arm. Come on, I want to show you something. We go along a path that skirts the edge of the forest. All the time, Wynne keeps glancing into the trees, pausing every few steps to listen. Soon we come to a cave, and Wynne lights a candle. He passes it to me and whispers, "Go on, see what's inside." Holding the flickering candle up high, I walk deeper into the cave, and then I stop and look around. At first I don't understand what I'm seeing. The cave is full of objects arranged on rocky shelves. I step closer. A butterfly hair clip sits next to an empty hula hoops packet. A scrap of paper with a game of hangman drawn on it is arranged on a ledge next to a single welly with a hat propped on top. A Batman keyring, missing one leg, dangles from a nail. At the back of the cave I find carefully folded t-shirt with a metal pot of green putty. The putty is set on its own ledge with an upturned plastic cup acting as a stand. "After the relic of Arthur, that's my favourite thing," whispers Wynne. "You left it behind 4 years ago, just after your birthday." And that's when I realise that this cave is a museum full of things that once belonged to me and Rose. I turn in a circle, and the candle lights up curling sticks, and animal rubbers, a lone Haribo, a book without a cover, and a whole collection of sweet wrappers threaded on a piece of string. Where did all this come from? "All over Raw," says Wynne proudly. "I found most of it, but the unicorns brought things too. And look!" He points to the wall and lifts the candle higher. Hoof prints cover the soft, sandy walls, hundreds of them, overlapping each other. Above the hoof prints, someone, Wynne I'm guessing, has carved, "Rose and Arthur, masters of Raw." I made this when he didn't come back. To begin with, it was just for me, and to keep your things safe. But when things got bad, the unicorn started to visit, and then the furries. It made it feel better and safer. I pick up a Pokemon trading card. "Why did you want to show me this, Wynne?" "You need to know that you're a master of Raw, Arthur, just like Rose. And if anyone can defeat Croaky, it's you." I swallow and put the Pokemon card back on the shelf. "You reckon?" "Absolutely. Now let's go and sit by the fire, make some toast, and come up with a super stealthy plan to get your granddad back." That sounds like an interesting museum, doesn't it, in the cave? Chapter 17. The next morning, after a quick breakfast of more toast and apples, Wynne and I stand outside the cave, ready to set off for the crow's nest. The cool air wakes me up, which is good because I didn't sleep well. All night I lay on the floor of the cave, tossing and turning in my sleeping bag and worrying about Grandad. I worried about Rose too. When she got back from town and realised I was gone, she would have been scared. But I kept reminding myself that she could have come with me if she wanted to. In fact, she could be standing next to me right now as Wynne runs through the mission briefing. "Weapons," says Wynne, making sure his wakizashi is strapped to his back. "Check," I say. Wynne's lent me a rucksack, and I put the most effective wooden sword I could find in it. And I've taken his bokken too, but right now it's lying at the bottom of the on-off waterfall. "Emergency supplies," says Wynne. "Check." Stuffed on top of the sword are a handful of apples. "First aid kit." "Check." I pat my pocket, which contains plasters and a bandage. I can also feel the map in there, and that's reassuring, like there's some order to this strange world I found myself in. Wynne fixes me a look. "Relay the mission logistics, Arthur." "Pardon?" He rolls his eyes. "Tell me what we're going to do." "Oh, right. We're going to the crow's nest, fight Croaky, then rescue my granddad." I tried to make my voice sound confident. I badly want to believe that in a few hours' time I'll be bundling Grandad back into the tunnel and taking him home. But then, as I picture where we're about to go, to a castle that sits on a rock far out at sea, I remember the massive flaw in our plan. "Wynne, exactly how are we going to get to the crow's nest?" Wynne's eyes widen. "Let's just say I've got a little surprise for you." I slip my hand into my pocket and wrap it round Grandad's inhaler. "I'm really not up for any more surprises right now, Wynne." Okay. We're going to get to the crow's nest by going along the magic road." "What magic road? I don't remember any magic road at Raw." "That's because it's new. It appeared a couple of weeks ago." "Like magic?" I suggest. "Exactly. So the only hope we've got of rescuing my granddad is if we use the magic road." "Not any old magic road," says Wynne. "The magic road." Then he yanks down his ninja hood and cries, This mission is go. He jumps on the nearest bike, the one that has functioning brakes, I notice, screams and pedals into the forest. I've no choice to pick up the other bike and follow him. I scream too. Only my scream isn't a war cry. It's one of terror, because I'm cycling through a forest on a bike without brakes. Watch out for the crack, Wynne calls over his shoulder. What crack? I shout. Then I spot a jagged line cutting across the path in front of me and shoot straight over it. Wynne laughs. That crack. See in the picture, there's a big crack in the ground. They're both on bikes. There's a massive crack in the middle. But they've made it over. Well done. And that's the end of the chapter. So they're on their way on the magic road. I wonder what's going to happen next. It is very exciting, this book. I'm surprised we haven't found Rose yet either. What do you think, Buttons? Think Rose will come in the next chapter? Fingers crossed, guys. Any predictions? See what happens next. Good luck with all your home learning, and we will speak to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.